So you're thinking about making a move to Boerne, Texas. In this video, Steve and I are going to go over the pros, the cons, the good, the bad to living in Boerne, Texas. If this is your first time to our channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living in San Antonio, Texas and its surrounding areas, make sure that you subscribe or tap the bell below to ensure that you get notifications every time we bring you a new video on market updates here in the San Antonio area. My name is Katie Powers, and my husband Steven Garza and I get phone calls from people just like you looking to make a move to San Antonio and its surrounding areas. Whether you're 6 days or 6 months away from making your move, we would absolutely love to hear from you. All of our information is listed right below in the description box. Steve and I would be honored to be your realtor of choice and help you make a smooth transition into our beloved area. All right, so let's jump into the pros and cons of Boerne, Texas. Pro number one is its location. Boerne is located just north of San Antonio, and it is officially the beginning of the hill country. So your location is prime. You are out in the country with the views of the beautiful hill country, but you are very close to the city with only 15 to 20 minutes into San Antonio. You're also close to Boerne Lake, which offers you a great escape from the heat during the summer. And in general, living in the hill country, you do get a little break on that heat. You're usually about 5 degrees cooler than you would see in San Antonio in the city because of those hills, which is really great. The location's also really wonderful because you get a mix of city living with the small town feel, and you can find properties that are large in acreage and also just small neighborhood lots as well. So you really just get the best of Texas in Boerne.
Pro number two, small town feel. Like Katie said, Boerne is a small town, or at least it was a small town. When I grew up out in Boerne, my parents moved us out there about the mid 80s, like 85, 86, and there was nothing. Boerne was a legit small town. And so with that, growing up, seeing all the new families and faces moving in has become great, but you still have that small town feel. You got the main street with all the shopping and the nice restaurants. You got River Road, which is a great place to just go hang out, do a little picnic, take the kids out. It's got a nice river with some walkways and some picnic tables out there. And so you still have that small town feel, but it is growing. And so in Boerne, we would say that we love our small town feel, but we also love the growth with the restaurants and the fast food restaurants. When I lived out there in high school, we'd have to drive all the way into San Antonio just to go to McDonald's, and that was a treat for us. And so now you have just growth within the city, and that small town feel is still there, but you're getting the conveniences of the big city.
Pro number three, the schools. Now, according to niche.com, the schools are rated A+. And they also are stated to be some of the top public schools in Texas, rated number 49 out of 471. So really, the public schools in Boerne stand out amongst the rest. They have really great academics along with their athletic program. Again, it's Texas, so football is a really big deal, and Boerne just always comes on top in its school district for football. But also soccer, basketball, their volleyball team, their track. I mean, they just always rank really high. Districts are shifting around this year, so it'll be interesting to see how Boerne stacks up against some of the new districts that they're switching into. Kerrville, they're going to be competing now against Kerrville and New Braunfels. So it will be really interesting to see how that plays out. But also the schools just stand out academically. So you can feel confident in putting your kids in public school and know they're going to get a great education. There are new schools because Boerne is growing, new schools popping up. A lot of my clients that live in Boerne absolutely love it, and they've chosen to live in Boerne specifically because of the school district. So definitely a pro and one to keep in mind when looking to choose which area you want to move to.
All right, pro number 4 is growth. Boerne is growing. Texas is growing. We got a lot of out-of-staters moving here, but Boerne in general, people have found out about it, I should say. The secret is out, and so now people are moving out there. My dad foresaw this, over 30 years ago, and so it's just growing. With growth comes, like I mentioned, for pro number 2 is restaurants, business, doctor's offices. I know a high-profile attorney now that lives out in Boerne and has his own company out there in successful business. And as of right now, according to niche.com, the Boerne is growing by 24% annually, which is amazing. That's just huge growth. Lots of people moving in. That small town feel is still there, like I mentioned, but the city is just expanding out. So like Katie said, more schools, more subdivisions. A lot of the home builders are starting subdivisions out there. And so we're seeing large growth in Boerne, which is great, unless you want to keep that small town feel like I grew up in. So when I go out there, it's very different now, but I still love it. It's a great town, great community, great people. Everybody's friendly out there. And so just a wonderful place to raise your kids and grow up. But that leads me to con number 1. With growth comes traffic. Whether you're on I-10, traffic. Whether you're on 46, which is a thoroughfare that goes through Boerne, traffic. Lots of growth, lots of construction, lots of homeowners moving out there, which bogs down the roads. The infrastructure just isn't there yet to support that many people. So you do have lots of construction, lots of sitting at traffic lights, spending time behind the wheel that nobody wants to do. You want to get to point A to point B as soon as possible, but traffic prevents that, unfortunately. So that is con number 1.
Con number 2 ties in with Steve's con number 1 is the drive time. There are no white collar big business jobs in Boerne. So you are going to have to drive if you're going to work, unless you work from home. So you do have a lot of big businesses coming up on the I-10 corridor. More and more buildings are being built and businesses are filling them. So over time, that drive time to work will shorten. For the main corporations we have in San Antonio that offers big business and job transfers like USAA, you're still a solid 20 minutes from USAA, and that's on a good day of traffic. I-10, especially that I-10-1604 intersection, it's overgoing some huge changes. And so we're seeing a lot of traffic in that area. So on a good day, 20 minutes. On a bad day, it could take you 40 minutes to get to USAA. It just depends. But you've also got New Star right there. That's even closer. So you're only about 15 minutes to New Star. And then you also have Valero. That's a good 20 minutes. You've got UTSA, that's about 20 minutes. Medical Center is really close to USAA, so you're only about 25 minutes to the Medical Center, which is our main hub for a lot of hospitals and clinics. So overall, any big business where you would need to work, you're most likely going to need to travel to work.
Con number 3 is the price of homes, the cost of living to bring your family out to Boerne, or if you're relocating from another state or another city, the cost of living has just gone up. The median price of homes in Boerne is $585, which is mind-blowing. But the communities out there are gorgeous and you get what you pay for, right? If the house is $585, you're getting that beautiful community with the beautiful community pool, or you're getting some space. The days of buying a house at $250 or even $300 are just gone in Boerne. The less expensive properties are in the high threes and fours, and then the median in the high fives and up. Boerne has a range of homes, but the cost of living, the price of houses has just gone up out there.
Con number 4 is drive time. Now I know we've hit on drive time quite a bit, but this one is specific to how convenient things are to where you live. So in Boerne, everything is just very spread out. So it's not like if you live in a portion of a city where your grocery store is less than a mile away from you, or if you need to go get gas and the gas station is just around the corner. You know, there's not really anything that's walking distance in Boerne. I hate to say that, but it's true. You gotta drive to go anywhere in Boerne. So you just wanna keep that in mind. The gas station, for example, if you watch our Boerne tour where we go and see some homes, and then we also have another video that goes over the new builds in Boerne, you can see that any of those homes, to get to the closest gas station is a solid 3 miles, especially if you're in Esperanza or the ranches at Creekside. It's a drive to get to a gas station and to get to the H-E-B or Walmart. Anything that's your normal conveniences on your everyday life, you're just gonna have to drive. Now, it's kind of comical because we're not talking like you gotta drive 20 minutes to the grocery store, which when Steve grew up in Boerne, it was a solid 20-minute drive to the grocery store. So we're not talking some serious drive time. We're talking a 5-minute drive to the gas station. You're just not walking distance. Like I send my son over to the gas station if we run out of milk and it's like a block and a half away. So you just don't have those conveniences when you're living out in Boerne. So that's all we have for the pros and cons of Boerne. I hope this was super helpful. Honestly, overall, Boerne is what it is because it's so sought after and people love it. The schools are great, the homes are higher price, the traffic is traffic because everybody wants to be in Boerne. So I would definitely advise, if you're gonna come down and enjoy Boerne or check out Boerne, you wanna come down and check out that main street. Everybody is just so friendly, as Steve said. It still has that very small town feel vibe, and it's just growing. So the population is supposedly 18,000, but the more research I dig, that just keeps going. That's from the census done in 2020. And with all of the neighborhoods popping up, I mean, that population is definitely closer to 25,000 and growing every day. So thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.